Hey guys, welcome to video update number 4 of my portable Gamecube. So, like my last video, it's been a while, but that of course means that I have ample amount of progress for this video. So let me just run through what's new. The screen is the first thing. Last time I had it, it was broken. I had a missing fried component. So that's since been replaced and the screen works. As you can tell, it's powered on right now. Also, you'll hear audio. That is the internal speakers you're hearing, so I fixed my audio amp and got all that wired up. I'll open it up in a second, but for now I'll talk about everything that's on the outside. So I have a volume control knob right over here. So that's actually a 3D printed knob, and it works very nice. It can get pretty loud too. I don't know if you can tell if that's loud or not, but it is. Another thing I did was I created a new side panel. So this is a newly cut side panel that I cut with a laser cutter. I have the addition of these left and right triggers here. They're not too fancy or pretty, but they'll work fine. And I'm going to be making another portable Gamecube soon, and hopefully I'll be improving on some of that, making some prettier buttons. So I also moved the SD card slot here. It's moved up a little bit, which works better. And I also have a reset switch, and there's a little hole right there which you can use a screwdriver or a pin, and that's the lid switch. Since it doesn't have to be pressed very often, that's why I made it so small. Also, I laser cut the front again because I had to make the addition of the volume control knob, and also I added these switches here. So you'll see one switch is marked fan, one is marked AV, and one is marked player 1. So the fan switch will change your fan speed. So it's a little noisier, but you get better airflow. AV, this turns off the internal screen and sound. So that would be useful for if you're connecting an external monitor through a TV through the port down here for the AV cable. The third switch is the player 1 port. That switches between the internal controls and the external controller. Now I'll cut to the... So here we go. The audio amp is right here. It's kind of covered by wires, but you get the idea. That's all mounted in. What else do I have? This ribbon cable right here for the SD card. Another thing worth noting is that I actually accidentally cut through it with a razor. It's kind of stupid, but I had to replace that. So it's in a slightly different position now, just as a note. So up here I have my speakers and screen and my controller board for player 1. It's all glued in. Speakers and the controller board, at least, not the screen yet. But I managed to trim this controller board down pretty small. And I have all these wires connected to it at the moment because I'm still wiring up to the internal buttons. Which, by the way, is probably the last thing that I really have to do to this portable. It's very nearing completion. That is, if I don't have batteries. So I've barely put much action into batteries right now. I haven't bought them or bothered with them at all. So it's definitely going to be the last thing I do. I'm not sure if I'm going to have them or not. Can always just add them later if I want. I'm just having trouble finding the right ones. Anyways, this little board right here is for the A, B, X, Y, and start button. That'll fit in very comfortably right there, right above those holes there for the buttons. So yeah, I think that's about it for new additions. And without further ado, I will show you some gameplay. So here we are with the Gamecube put back together. Right now we're on the menu. So just to show that my internal buttons are working, this is the control pad. There's Swiss. Here's my little buttons here. Right now, I actually don't have the start button hooked up, so switch to an external controller, and there we go. Switching between internal and external controls is very convenient and very easy. So here's the Swiss menu. Let's see, I have some little switches down here for the D-pad. What should we play? I'm gonna go Twilight Princess, because that's one of my all-time favorite games. And I don't see it demonstrated much in these videos either. So there we have it. Yeah, so here's our files here, which does show that the memory card is working. Ah, the Shadow Realm. My favorite place in the game. Not. I hated this place. You know that dungeon where there's that hand that follows you around? Anyways, game is all working. And I think that pretty much wraps up my progress for now, so this is probably my last update. My next video will probably just be the completion video where I show off everything all put together and working. That is, if I skip batteries. Stupid batteries. Anyways, thank you for watching, and stick around for my next video.